Welcome all of you. Good morning to all of you. We will start with second session of GST for CS Professional for June 22 and December 22 exams. Okay, it will be common for June 22 and December 22 because the syllabus and the Finance Act applicable remains same. Okay, just revising yesterday's discussion. Did you understand that GST, what is the body of GST? Body in the sense, what is the taxable event in GST? Did you understand? So, can you tell me now in the chat window what is taxable event in GST? Yes, friends, taxable event in GST is very good. It is supply. On intrastate supply of goods or services or both, there will be charge of CGST plus SGST. On interstate supply of goods, there will be charge of IGST. In India, GST follows dual model, isn't it? In India, GST follows dual model. Dual model means half revenue is of central government, half revenue is of state government. So all these things are very clear to you, correct? GST is an indirect tax. It is destination based, consumption based. Destination based because that destination where supply has taken place, that destination where supply has taken place, correct, that matters. So it is destination based, consumption based and indirect tax. Okay, now as promised, today what we will do is body of GST law. Body of GST law. Body of GST law means, understand carefully what I am trying to tell you. We'll just increase the font size. Okay, please understand carefully what I am trying to tell you. While studying any law, you need to know its source. Yes or no? For example, it is company law, it is labor law, it is economic law, isn't it? So we are talking about a law. So law is a broad term. Under law there will be acts. Do you agree? Under law there will be various acts. Yes, but are the acts itself law? So act is one part of law. Apart from act, correct Ishwari, apart from acts you will have notifications. Friends, what is the importance of notification? Any idea? I am saying you have notifications also. Acha, if I talk about law, means if I talk about act, then what is the procedure for making an act? If I say CGST Act 2017, then what is the procedure of passing this act? It is to be passed in both the houses of parliament. Do you know? And an assent of President, Honorable President of India. Correct? So what do you think? This process is simple or this process is complicated? This process is very legal and this process is very complicated. Yes, of course, all of you agree with that. So can all the things in the law decided in the act itself? No, of course no. So many times in the act you will have the word as notified. Okay, many times in the act you will have the word as notified. So you will have to read notification of central government, okay, in regard to that particular thing which will complete the law. Okay, I will not beat around the bush. I'll give you example. If we say that, just listen to my wordings. Just listen to my wordings. My wordings are like this: on intrastate supply of goods or services or both. What did I say? On intrastate supply of goods or services or both, there shall be levy of CGST at the rate, at what rate? As notified by government. At the rate as notified by government, but not exceeding 20%. Now, who says this? This is said in section 9 of CGST Act. So, right now what I told you, this is said in section 9 of CGST Act. But section 9 of CGST Act, if you observe, it is making a reference to notification. Are you getting my point? In short, understanding of at what percentage or what rate CGST will be applicable, that understanding is incomplete unless we read the notification. Accepted? So, reading only CGST Act is not sufficient. Along with CGST Act, you will have to read notification also. Accepted? So, do notification also form part of body of law? Yes. Understood? Very good. Then, same section 9 talks about one more thing. I am not right now intending to teach you section 9. Right now I am just intending to tell you that different elements of body of GST law. Okay. Listen carefully. On intrastate supply of goods or services or both, there shall be charge of CGST at the rate as notified by government, but not exceeding 20%, and it shall be collected by taxable person in the manner as prescribed. So few things have to be prescribed. Where they are prescribed? They are prescribed in the rules. So what is the difference? Notification, rules. See, rules are framed by central government, and rules will mostly talk about the procedures. Rules will talk about the procedures. Getting it? So, in short, what is body of law? Body of law is various acts, notifications, rules. Did you all get it? Priya, did you follow it? What I am saying? Fantastic. Apart from that, what I would like to tell you is that sometimes in the act or in the notification, there could be ambiguity. Ambiguity means confusion. Ambiguity means what? Confusion. Confusion means a single word or a single sentence can have different interpretations, means can have different meanings. That is called as ambiguity. Correct? Did you understand meaning of the word ambiguity? If I say that class is at 7 o'clock, then there is ambiguity. 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. This is ambiguity. So, intention of lawmaker when he wrote that particular law, okay, he was in some mindset and he wrote that. But afterwards, how to interpret sometimes can become a question. So, that's what I am saying. There could be an ambiguity. So, that ambiguity or that confusion is solved by Central Board of Indirect Taxes. Okay. Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs will solve that ambiguity by issuing a circular. So, circular will give clarification. Is it clear? Circular will give clarification on certain things. So, circulars also become part of GST law. Then, press release. Press release means sometimes GST department publishes something in newspapers. That also becomes part of GST law. And finally, if there is a dispute, legal dispute, and it goes on till Honorable Supreme Court, and Supreme Court gives a decision that so and so thing is correct, then that also becomes a part of GST law. Correct? So, in short, what will be body of GST law? Body of GST law will be CGST Act 2017. Accepted? CGST Act 2017. SGST Act 2017. Correct? It is of course of various states. Third, IGST Act. 2017. IGST Act, clear? Integrated Goods and Services Tax. Central Goods and Services Tax, State Goods and Services Tax, Integrated Goods and Services Tax Act 2017, UTGST Act 2017, GST compensation to states, GST compensation to states Act 2017. Did you understand till this point? These are the legislature, these are the acts. Okay, then notifications. Who will issue notifications? Notifications issued by central government. Notifications issued by central government on recommendations of GST Council. You must have observed that GST Council meetings. So notification issued by central government on recommendation of GST Council. Is it clear till this point? Then rules. As rules, you can say framed by central government. Correct? Then I told you one more thing, that is press release. Press release is some additional point that I am putting up. And lastly, decided cases. Decided cases by Honorable Supreme Court. So is body of law clear to all of you? Just tell me honestly in the chat window. Fantastic. So my dear friends, what hint you have to take while studying any subject? While studying any subject in your syllabus, you have to question yourself that what exactly is the source of that subject. Okay, don't say that, okay, the source is institute's material or the source is some reference book. No, I am talking about legal source. Okay, so once that is clear, then you understand. Yes, very good. We have to put circular here. Circular also we have to put. Absolutely correct. So once you understand the basic source from where the law is, obtained, it becomes easy to learn it. Yes, circulars also. Very good. Thank you, Komal. Circulars is also a body of law. Circulars issued by CBIC, that is Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs. Is it clear? What do circulars do? For giving clarification. Yes. Clear? Shall we go ahead? Today what I request you is, you write the things along with me. Okay, it's okay even if you have not written body of GST law, but next things which I am discussing, you will write along with me. Why? There is some logic. Because what we are discussing next is section wise index. Clear? What is our next discussion on? Our next discussion is on section wise index of GST. Kirti, do you remember? Just tell me in the chat window. Do you remember section wise index? We have done at executive level. So now, who else has confidence that they know section wise index? I mean, section wise they know CGST Act. Anyone has confidence? Just let me know in the chat window. 1N means I did not understand. No, acha, no. Okay, no sir. Okay, no. Okay, so in short, most of you are saying no and others are not replying. Not reply means I will take as no only. At CS professional level, it is my challenge that each and every section, important section with its content, with logic you will remember it. It is my challenge. And now this section, telling you section wise index, is the beginning of that. Okay, let's understand. So first of all, you accept and agree that out of the body of law which we discussed, the most important is CGST Act. Yes, Sneha, no, Sesha is saying wow. Yes, that is going to happen. That wow effect you are going to get. Okay, as we go ahead. And not only section, my challenge is actually further. Section, it has how many subsections? If that subsection has a proviso, if there is an explanation to that section, all these things you will remember. It is part and parcel of the class. Okay. So you will agree with me that CGST Act 2017 is the main thing from the body of GST law. Yes or no? Yes. Why so? Why so? Because the basic principles of GST will remain same. Basic principles of GST will remain same. So let it be SGST or let it be UTGST, let it be IGST. The basic principles of GST will be from CGST Act. Accepted? So we are going to check section wise index of CGST Act 2017. Chalo, so I'll start with important sections. I am talking only about important sections. Important sections. So this section wise index you have to do along with me. Okay. So I am going to write here section number and I am going to write here content. Okay, or what it deals with. Understood? These two columns, section number and its content. I am not saying content will fit in this. Chalo, let us start. So, of course, this will be an introduction to your syllabus also, and somewhere I would like to tell you weightage also. Weightage in your syllabus, because all time you are interested in weightage also. You want to know weightage also, no? So weightage part we'll discuss afterwards. I'll just put the weightages afterwards. Let us start. 7. Okay, we will start with section 7. Section 7 is scope of supply. Can anyone tell me? Scope of supply means what you can expect here. Okay, you can expect here what is supply and what is not supply. Okay, why it is so important? Because you all told me that taxable event in GST is supply of goods or services. So what is supply and what is not supply? Shouldn't we understand that? So what is supply and what is not supply is given in section 7 of CGST Act. Now tell me honestly, can it happen that it is a supply for the purpose of CGST but not a supply for the purpose of SGST? Can it happen that way? Can it happen? You did not get my question, I think. Can it happen that it is a supply for the purpose of CGST but not supply for the purpose of SGST? No, it cannot happen that, na? So supply, scope of supply is common in CGST, SGST, UTGST, IGST. Okay, so will scope of supply be again discussed in SGST Act? Will it again be discussed in IGST Act? No, absolutely. It will be discussed only once. Pratik, did you get my point? It will be discussed only once. That's why I said that we are doing index of CGST Act. Because understanding CGST Act will mean that you have understood many principles of GST. Yes, so scope of supply will be discussed in section 7. Okay. After scope of supply, in this same section itself, you have to understand Schedule 1, Schedule 2 and Schedule 3. What are schedules? Schedules are list. Schedules is the list. Okay, so list of specific things is schedule. So what Schedule 1 talks about? Schedule 1 talks about activities which are called as supply, even if they are without consideration. Did you understand? Which activities are called as supply even if they are without consideration? Where it is given? It is given in Schedule 1. Then certain activities are supply of goods but not supply of, yes friends, but not supply of services, and certain activities are supply of services but not supply of goods. Did you understand what I am saying? So these activities are given in Schedule 2, and Schedule 3 is negative list. What is the meaning of negative list? That is activities which are considered as neither supply of goods, नहीं not allowed नहीं, you will do those activities but those are considered as neither supply of goods nor supply of services. Is it clear? In short, what is not supply is given in Schedule 3. Ishwari, is it clear? What is not supply is given in Schedule 3. So section 7 will not be complete unless you read it with Schedule 1, Schedule 2 and Schedule 3. Schedule is a list. Yes. Shall we go ahead? Once you complete writing, let me know. This you should write along with me. Yes, very good, Kirti. So, I mean, GST law you should not know by fluke. You should know it with section number, subsection. Okay, we are going to ensure that. 8. Section 8 is taxability of composite and mixed supply. What? Taxability of composite and mixed supply. Means what? Understand, it's very interesting. Of course, when we go to section 8, we'll discuss this in detail, but it is very interesting. If I take a flight, I am taking a flight ticket from Pune to Ahmedabad. I am taking a flight from Pune to Ahmedabad. In the flight, they serve me meal, which is complimentary. In the flight, they serve me meal, which is complimentary. Now my question to you is, what is this supply of? Is this supply of air travel service, or is this supply of meal, or is this combined supply? It is a combined supply. It is supply of two things: air flight services or travel services and meal. Getting it? In this, is there any main supply? What is the main supply in this? Yes. Oh, is it Ketki? Food is the main supply? Which is the main supply? In my opinion, air travel is the main supply, na? got it? Ki air travel is the main supply or flight is the main supply, and which is the incidental supply? Food. But for both together I have paid a consolidated amount. For both together I have paid a consolidated amount. Yes. So we call it as composite supply. What we call it as? Composite supply. So composite supply is treated as supply of principal supply. Composite supply is treated as supply of principal supply. So can you tell me that our principal supply is what? Our principal supply is air travel. So rate of GST as applicable for air travel will apply to the entire ticket amount. Is it clear to all of you? Yes, no, please let me know in the chat window. Fantastic. So taxability of composite and mixed supply. Now, when we study any section, and if that section has reference to some terms, like here there is a reference to term of composite supply, mixed supply, then we should also see definitions of those terms. So in this, I would request you to see definition of section 2 subsection 30, 2 subsection 74 and 2 subsection 90. Where 2 subsection 30 is definition of composite supply, 2 subsection 74 is definition of mixed supply, and 2 subsection 90 is definition of principal supply. Is it clear to all of you? How its taxability will be is discussed in section 8. But what composite supply means, what mixed supply means, what principal supply means is discussed in this section 2 subsection 30, 2 subsection 74 and 2 subsection 90 respectively. Clear all of you? Suppose you want to gift something to your father on this Diwali. You want to gift something to your father on the Diwali occasion. So you went to a shop and you find that there is one nice gift pack which contains one chocolate, one perfume, one wallet, one belt and one greeting card. These 5 things. And this whole package is costing 1500 rupees. What is exactly the supplier selling you? Is supplier selling you belt, wallet, greeting card, chocolate or perfume? Exactly. So this is called as mixed supply. So mixed supply means none of the supply is principal supply. You cannot identify principal supply. That is called as mixed supply. Multiple supplies are done together where none of the supply is principal supply. Okay, multiple supplies done together for single price where none of the supply is main supply. It is called as mixed supply. So in mixed supply, you have to check amongst the given items which item has highest rate of GST, and that highest rate of GST will apply to the entire package value. Clear? So such taxability of composite and mixed supply is discussed in section 8. Section 9, levy and collection. Levy and collection of GST. Levy, charge. Levy means charge. Charge of GST is levy. If we are talking about section 9 of CGST Act, then it will be charge of CGST. Is it clear? Section 9, what is going to be there in section 9? Levy and collection. Okay. Now listen carefully. 10. 10 is composition levy. Meaning of composition levy? Composition levy means alternate levy. Okay. If supplier decides not to pay tax as per normal percentage, then he has an option to go under this composition levy. Okay, under composition levy, he pays tax at alternative less nominal percentage. This composition levy is optional and it is only for those registered persons whose turnover is within some limits. Okay, so what happens if my business is not so big, but it is big enough that I am registered, but it is not so big? Getting it? It is not so big, but it is big enough that I am registered under GST. So an option will be given to me to pay tax at nominal percentage. That option is discussed in this section 10, composition levy. Is it clear to all of you? Yes, fantastic. Section 11, exemptions under GST. Exemptions means, what do you mean by exemptions? Exemptions means for time being, GST will not be payable. For time being, GST will not be payable. That is called as exemption. Okay, if I say that every Sundays you are exempted from attending tax class, exempted means, getting it? You are taxable because you have joined a tax class. You are taxable because you have joined a class. But at given point of time, you may be given exemption. Okay, allowed to avoid means, yes, you may be exempted from paying tax. So certain services are exempted from GST for time being. For example, health care services. Okay, government does not want end consumer to suffer in the sense to have high cost of health care service. So health care service is exempted. Okay, so what will happen? There will be no GST on medicine facilities. I am not saying medicine, I am saying medical facilities like diagnosis which is done or any treatment which is given for illness. There will be no GST on that health care facilities. So there are many such examples. These exemptions under GST, you have to read it with notification number 12/2017, CT. CT means central tax. Okay, so this notification will give you 82 services. How many services? 82 services for which GST is exempt. Is it clear to all of you? Are you following what I am saying? Yes, fantastic. After some time, I am going to close this Excel sheet. I am going to ask you to come up in the classroom mode and going to randomly ask you some section numbers. Okay, and you are going to try and reply to that. Let's see, you will be able to do that, I am sure. And not necessary that today only you should remember all the sections. We have lot of time. Okay, 12 is time of supply of goods. What is 12? Time of supply of goods. Friends, if once you have decided that it is a supply, say once you have decided it is a supply, then exactly at what point we can say that supply has completed? That point is called as time of supply. Is it clear? So time of supply of goods is given in section 12. Time of supply of services is given in section 13. Time of supply of goods and or services where there is a change in what? Where there is a change in rate of GST is given in section 14. How to decide time of supply when there is change in the rate of GST? Means when you actually provided the service, GST rate was 5%. Say, just example, it was 5%. But when you actually received the money for that service given, it had become, say, 12%. And when you raised the invoice, it was again 12% only. So, in short, at the time of giving the service, actually, it was something else, but at the time of raising invoice and at the time of receiving payment, it was something else. So, which exactly rate of GST will be applicable? That all is discussed in section 14. No, I am not asking you the answer. I am just not expecting answer from you. I am just telling you situation in which you have to apply section 14. Understood? When we go to these sections, we will discuss them at length. Is it clear to all of you till this point? Fantastic. So, in short, 12, 13, 14 is, can I categorize them? 12, 13, 14, time of supply. 11, a very separate category, exemptions. Levy and collection and composition levy, that means levy of GST, yes. 9, 10. This taxability, scope of supply 7 and 8. All sections talking about a particular thing, I am putting under one color. Shall we go ahead? Okay. 15. 15 is value, or you can say valuation, or you can say value under GST. Let's say valuation under GST. Means if I am giving you service where I am charging you 20,000 rupees, then GST will be on which value? That is discussed in section 15. How to decide the value on which GST is charged? Getting it? That value is called as assessable value, and computation of that assessable value is discussed in section 15 of CGST Act. Is it clear to all of you what 15 will have? So this 15, you have to read this 15 with rule 27 to 35 of CGST rules 2017. So that 15 cannot be read in isolation. 15, to support 15, you will have to read rules as well. Okay. So that also becomes part of 15 only, the rules. Okay. Then we'll go ahead. 16. What is what you can say, heart and soul of GST or any indirect tax? Do you know? If I ask you what is heart and soul of any indirect tax, then can you tell me in one word? Let me see, guess. Take a guess. What is heart and soul of any indirect tax? Let me see. Just answer in one term. Let me see. Take any guess. Take any guess. I'll not judge you. Fantastic. Gargi, congratulations. It is input tax credit. Very good. Yes. It is ITC. So ITC is heart and soul of any indirect tax. Why? Only because of ITC. You have yesterday seen the chain. Do you remember the chain? Yes or no? Okay. So, Ketki, ITC is the answer. Okay. Ketki, ITC is the answer. Means I was expecting that from you right now. How refund will be heart and soul? ITC. Okay. Understand, if you have seen yesterday's chain, in yesterday's chain, can you observe value addition by each one of them? If you go to yesterday's chain, value addition by them was 1200. Value addition by wholesaler value addition means how much is the original work he is doing off. That is value addition. It was 1200. For him, value addition was this 300, because 1200 was value addition by manufacturer. By wholesaler, the value addition was 300, and by retailer, the value addition is 100. Accepted? Yes, no? Fantastic. So 300, 100. And now understand, GST rate was 18%. So GST at 18% on this worked out to 216. 18% on this worked out to 54. 18% of this worked out to 18. And that was exactly net GST paid by them. Did you understand? Yes, that's why I'm saying heart and soul is input tax credit. Because what allows them to pay only this much tax to the government? What allows them to pay only this much tax to the government? ITC. Exactly. That's why I'm saying ITC is the heart and soul. Yes, Ketki, got it. Don't worry. I understood your intention. Okay. That's why I said heart and soul is ITC. Because of ITC, it is possible for the suppliers to pay only that much GST of to the extent they have made value addition. Clear? All of you? Accepted? And it is this same ITC which allows government to collect tax at every step, at every stage, at every step. If ITC was not there, government would have collected tax only at last stage. Correct? So that's why I'm saying ITC is heart and soul. Okay. So section 16 talks about eligibility and conditions. Eligibility and conditions to claim input tax credit. So who can claim ITC is discussed in section 16. On what conditions being satisfied ITC can be claimed? Section 16. Clear? Can I go to 17? 17 is again for input tax credit. It is apportionment and blocked credits. Means apportionment and block credit means there are some cases where entire ITC cannot be claimed, where only part of ITC can be claimed. That is called as apportionment. And blocked credit means there are instances where ITC is not allowed. There are instances where ITC is not allowed. That is called as blocked credits. That is discussed in section 17 of CGST Act. 18 is input tax credit in some special circumstances. Input tax credit in some special circumstances. It's a very specialized topic. We'll discuss when we go there to the section 18. Okay. Then 19 is input tax credit in case of job work. And 20 is again input tax credit in case of input service distributor. Okay, so in short, can I say that 16 to 20 is dealing with ITC? Yes. I request you to take 2 minutes and complete this 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Writing the section number and their contents. Once you complete it, you know you have to say D in the chat window. Very good. See, even if you don't find 100% utility of this today, whenever we are learning GST, this index is going to make sense to you. Okay, and we are writing only important sections, so I'm not writing 21, I'm going to 22. Now remember one point, 22 to 30. 22 to 30 is registration under GST. So section 22 is persons liable to register under GST. So exactly who should take registration under GST is discussed in section 22. 23 is persons exempted from obtaining registration under GST. So government does not want few suppliers to get registration in GST. It's okay even if they don't get registered in GST. That is kept in this section number 23. 24 is cases where registration is mandatory under GST. Okay, there are 12 cases where registration is mandatory under GST. So 22 and 24 talk about a similar content. 22 is persons liable to register under GST. 24 is cases where registration is mandatory under GST. 25 is procedure for registration. 26 is something called as deemed registration. Acha, do you need separate registration under CGST and SGST? What do you think? No. If you are registered under SGST, it is deemed that you are registered under CGST. Getting it? It cannot happen that you are paying only SGST. Along with SGST, you have to pay CGST. Okay. Then 27 is special provisions. Some special provisions for casual taxable person. We will call him as CTP, casual taxable person, and non-resident taxable person, NRTP. Did you get 27? Means write it as of now. Amendment in registration. Changes. If you want to make changes in your registration, that is discussed in 28. Amendment in registration. Okay. 29. 29 is cancellation / suspension of registration. In what circumstances your registration can be cancelled is discussed in 29, and 30 is revocation, means stopping of cancellation. So this is your sections for registration under GST. Okay, I request you to take them down. As you complete it, you can say D in the chat window. Take your time, no problem. Fantastic, Pratiksha. Very good. Ishwari, Pratik. So 22 to 30 is for registration. If out of nowhere I ask you, keep your hands on keyboard. Let me see who answers first. Which is the section for scope of supply? Fantastic. Very good, very good, very good. 7. Fantastic. Section 12 is for section 12. Time of supply of goods. Very good. Let's go ahead. I hope you have completed till 30. 31 is documents under GST, means tax invoice, okay, tax invoice, bill of supply, payment voucher, receipt voucher, refund voucher, revised tax invoice. All these documents are discussed in section 31. All these documents are discussed in section 31. Clear with all of you? Yes, fantastic. Achha, you must be wondering why I'm wearing a traditional today. You must be wondering why I'm wearing traditional today. Anyone wondered why is sir wearing traditional today? Okay. I teach at Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So those students have kept traditional day today. So they yesterday messaged me that sir request you to wear traditional. So my batch is immediately after your batch. Immediately there is a batch for CA intermediate. So just to honor the word, I have been in traditional today. Okay. The Diwali vibes, creation of Diwali vibes, you know, that has started. 34. 34 is debit note, credit note. Clear? It is debit note, credit note. Okay, we are writing important sections only, so I did not write 30 to 33. So basically documents is discussed in 31 and 34. Is it clear to all of you? Section for documents. Yes, fantastic. Tell me which is section number for valuation. Very good. 15. Acha, how many schedules are there in CGST Act? In this entire CGST Act, there are 3 schedules. So, what you can say, responsive participants have got, students have got. Very good. Good going. Keep the enthusiasm like this only. That's why zest learning. Okay, so students always ask me, sir, what is the meaning of zest learning? The name of the academy is zest learning. So, does anyone know what is the meaning of zest? No? Zest? You don't know the meaning of zest? Yes, Ketki, correct. Meaning of zest is enthusiasm. No, it's not celebration, it is actually enthusiasm. Now, you know why this name, zest learning? Because, you know, I observed, if we have to go to McDonald's, we are enthusiastic. If we want to play some sports, we are enthusiastic. So in 95% of the tasks, we are enthusiastic. Okay, but when it comes to studying, I'm talking about majority, I'm talking about majority. So majority of them are not enthusiastic for studying, isn't it? Are not enthusiastic for studying. So I thought, why not introduce enthusiasm in learning? And that's the meaning of zest, enthusiasm. Enthusiasm in learning new things is zest learning. So I thought, let us, you know, put up the concepts in a different way. Let us involve students in the learning. So zest learning. That is how it comes up. This was established in 2009. You will be surprised to know that. I qualified in 2011, but we introduced zest learning and we started it from 2009. And since inception, for first 2 years it was teaching tax for BCom students. Then from 2011, it started teaching for CS Executive and CS Professional. So right now in this December, we will be completing, you only count how much, from 2009 if we have started, so 10, 11, 12 years will be completing in this December. To be precise, 6th of December 2021 we will complete. Yes, thank you, Ketki. Ketki is saying very innovative, speaks of joy in the learning. Oh, yes. Then just goals. Absolutely. You have got the point exactly on dot. Means if you keep your focus on learning, your ultimate goals will be taken care of. Isn't it? It's not only learning in this academics. It is overall you are learning all the time. This is focused learning towards the subject. Yes, thank you Pratiksha for that reaction. Yes. So this is a movement. We have to spread this movement that yes, learning should not be burden, learning should be enthusiastic. That is what my thought process is. I have made, means one poem also I have made on this zest. So I don't actually remember the lines, but one day I'll share that poem also with you of zest. Okay, 35 section. Let's come back. Section 35. What is 35? 35 is accounts and records. Accounts and records under GST. Okay. 36 to you can say 48. 36 to 48 is filing of returns under GST. Have you heard of returns? Yes. What is return? Return is basically document. Yes, thank you, Sisha. Yes, Sisha is saying this, the successful completion of 12 years. Congratulations. Yes, thank you, thank you. We'll celebrate in December. If it was face-to-face batch, I would have given you some party in December, but it's not face-to-face batch. So anyways, we'll celebrate in some way. Yes, return means a document which will give what you can say. See, under any tax laws, it is self-assessment. What is the meaning of self-assessment? Self-assessment means, what is the meaning of self-assessment? It means I have to decide means I have to determine what is my tax liability and I have to pay it to the government myself. Is there any GST officer sitting at businessman's premises all the time? No. So businessman has to decide the liability for himself and pay it to the government. So exactly how he has calculated this liability, exactly how much was output tax, how much was sales made, okay, how much was purchases, how much was ITC, this will be furnished in the return. So return is a document which gives details of taxes payable, taxes paid. Got the point? Pratiksha is saying we will plan a get together for December then. Yes, let's see the COVID situations, and 100% I will be happy. Good idea. Let's see what can happen. This is really Pratiksha fantastic idea, you know. I mean, now when this is going to be new norm to teach online, when this is going to be new norm, very good idea Pratiksha has given. What we can do is 2 to 3 days or 1-2 days we can book a resort and we all can meet. Okay, for the, you know, we can call it as a tax celebration and we can meet and, you know, have fun and also revise tax. Very nice idea. I will note that. Yes, some venue we will have, some good venue we will have, and you know, one full day we will revise tax live. Live means face to face. And one day we will have fun. This way, 2 days we can have that type of, you know, retreat, you can say. Yes, very good. Super. No, it's Pratiksha's idea. Yes, good. Noted. Noted. 49. 49 is payment of GST. What is 49? Payment of GST. Means how exactly GST will be discharged to the government. Okay. Yes. Zest for party, enthusiasm for party. Okay. 50. 50 is interest. Interest for what? Interest for delay in payment of GST. Interest for delay in payment of GST. Mind you, I don't have any book in front of me. I'm just I'm just looking down because laptop I have kept down. No? So you will also remember all these sections, it's matter of time. 51 is TDS under GST. 52 is TCS under GST. TCS, tax collection at source, under GST. TDS, tax deduction at source, under GST. 54 is refund under GST. Refund. So basically 49 to 54 you have to remember as payment of GST. Can we remember it as payment of GST? 49 to 54. Yes, very good. My question to you is, have you completed this? Once you complete writing till this point, say D in the chat window. Yes. Now, my question to you is, ready with hands on keyboard? Keyboard means I am not taking music class. Keyboard. Section 16 is for what? 16. ITC. Eligibility and conditions. Very good. Section 22 to 30 is for what? 22 to 30 is for registration. Fantastic. Getting it, na? How simple it can become, remembering section numbers. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay. Now, I am not writing section numbers, I am just writing one contents that we have to cover. Assessments under GST. Okay, assessments under GST. Then advance rulings. Because we have to complete the syllabus, no? Complete the syllabus means I have to tell you all the contents. So it's okay even if you don't know section numbers for this. Assessments under GST, advance ruling, demand and recovery of GST. Okay. Before we go to miscellaneous, appeals. Appeals under GST. If there are disputes, then provision of appeals. Clear, all of you? This much you have to do in GST. And of course, one more thing you can do, that is penalties. Penalties. So these all could be separate topics. These all you can mark as separate topics. Is it clear to you till this point? Yes, once you complete it, please say D in the chat window. Okay, one more thing you can add there, that is liability to pay GST. Liability to pay GST in certain cases. Okay. Now, can I tell you weightages? Your favorite thing, weightages. Okay, let me just make the angle like this. Yes, I'll tell you weightages now. This scope of supply, okay, this scope of supply, taxability of composite and mixed supply, this all together will have weightage of about 5 marks. 5 marks. Clear? Levy and collection, this will have weightage of again 5 marks. And these all are compulsory marks I am talking about. Exemptions under GST, you will be surprised to know this has weightage of 10 marks. They have been asking this to you in the exam. Clear, all of you? Are you writing the weightages also? Someone is on unmute. Okay. Time of supply, this will again have weightage of 5 marks. Valuation, including the valuation rules, will have weightage of 10 marks. So you know what to focus on. It will have weightage of 10 marks. Okay, just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Yes, I'll be back. Yes, I'm back. Okay. Did you understand? Eligibility means input tax credit. Whole ITC together is going to have weightage of 10 marks. Whole ITC together is going to have weightage of 10 marks. Registration will have weightage of 5 marks. Anyone missing? I mean, missing in the sense, anyone who has not yet completed or something like that? All of you completed, no? Writing the weightages till now? Okay. Documents will have weightage of 5 marks. And mind you, in documents, you can add one more section, that is 68. In documents, you can add one more section, that is 68. That 68 section is for e-way bill, electronic way bill. It is to be read with rule 138. Read with rule 138. 5 marks. Accounts and records, no dedicated weightage as such. Filing of returns, yes, they ask you every time of 5 marks. Payment of GST, 5 marks. Assessments under GST, no dedicated weightage. Advance billing also no dedicated weightage. Demand and recovery, no dedicated weightage. But all these things together till this point, you can have weightage of about 10 marks. Now calculate how many marks there are. Don't say it is above 100. 60. 75? Okay. Then some things could be asked either or. Then make it 5 only. But I have told you that okay, these are the weightages. Clear? But I have to tell you few more things. Can I go ahead and tell you? Few more things. Because this is not all, no? This is not all. You will be having few things from IGST Act also. Acha, do we now need to study SGST Act separately? No, we don't have to study SGST Act separately. Do we need to study UTGST Act separately? No, we don't have to study UTGST Act separately, but you need to study IGST Act 2017. Some selected provisions you will have to study from IGST Act. Okay. IGST Act section 5 will be levy and collection. Levy and collection. Okay. Of IGST. No dedicated weightage for that. 6 will be exemptions under IGST. No dedicated weightage for that. Okay. 7 will be interstate supply. What is the meaning of interstate supply? Will be section 7. Intrastate supply will be section 8. 10, 11, 12, 13 are the most important ones for which we are actually discussing this IGST Act. Most important one. 10, 11, 12, 13. Anyone, any guesses? Let me see how observant you are. Something in this GST we have missed. Means in CGST Act, if you understand, something is missing. Few provisions are missing. Exactly, Gargi. Place of supply. Fantastic. So 10, 11, 12, 13 of IGST Act discuss about identifying of place of supply. Clear to all of you? Yes. So 10 talks about place of supply of goods. What does 10 talk about? It talks about place of supply of goods in case of other than imports and exports. How to identify which is the place of supply of goods in case of other than imports and exports? 11 is place of supply of goods in case of imports and exports. 12 is place of supply of what? Services in case where both, who both? In case where both supplier and recipient of supply, in case where both supplier and recipient of supply are in taxable territory. Taxable territory means India. And 13 is, what is 13? Place of supply of services in case where either supplier or recipient of supply are outside India. Where either of the two are outside India, it is the place of supply is determined in section 13. Is it clear? This place of supply will carry weightage of 5 marks. This place of supply will carry weightage of 5 marks. Is it clear to all of you? And finally, what you have to do is GST Compensation to States Act 2017. This will carry weightage of 5 marks. Accepted? Yes, fantastic, fantastic. Very good. It's not getting heavy, right? You're all in line. It's not getting heavy, right? Once you complete, say D in the chat window, and also please give me your feedback that it is okay, or is it getting heavy? Yes, it is okay. Okay, very good. What I'm going to do is, once all of you say D, once all of you say done, I'm going to minimize and ask you some questions. Can I ask you questions? Yes. Very good. I'll ask you few questions. I'll minimize. I will minimize. Yes. Chalo. So, pay attention. Okay. First question to you is taxability of composite supply and mixed supply. Taxability of composite supply and mixed supply is in which section? 8. Very good. 8 has to be read with 3 definitions. Those definitions are given in 2 subsection 30. All definitions are always in section 2 only, but which subsection that matters? 30, 74, 90. How to remember? Question that someone can ask is, how to remember, sir, that which definition is for what? Now, if you remember 30, 74, 90, it is simple. Definitions are always alphabetically. Alphabetically means C, M, P. Composite supply, mixed supply, principal supply, alphabetical sequence 30, 74, 90. What happens is, when you write the answers, it gives amazing impression to the examiner if you write section number for definition also. Okay, remember the impact that will have. Student can ask, is it necessary, sir, to quote these section numbers in the exam? Point is, if one student quotes section number, other student doesn't quote, tell me, human psychology, who will get more marks? Who will get more marks? The one who has quoted the section number. Getting the point? Getting the point? So I want all our students to quote section numbers. I will tell you one secret. Our students, out of the 70 marks of indirect tax, our students score approximately 50 plus marks in IDT itself. Getting the point? Clear, na? You will not believe it, but that is the fact. One student just said me that he just did IDT with me, and he said I attempted only IDT and he got 52 marks, 55 marks, something this sort of marks they are getting only after attempting IDT part. Doesn't mean that you should put DT for option. I am not telling you that. But then why this is possible? Possible because you quote the section numbers. When you quote the section numbers, the marks just escalate beyond your imagination. Okay. Now, tell me, 9. What is section 9 of CGST Act? Levy and collection. 10 is composition levy. Very good. 11, exemptions under GST. Yes, very good. IGST Act, which sections are important I told you? IGST Act section 10 to 13 are important. 10 to 13 of IGST Act talk about what? 10 to 13 of IGST Act talk about place of supply. Very good. In that 10, 11 is for goods, 12, 13 is for services. Now, listen to me carefully. I will take honor in starting with telling you section 9. We will start with discussion of section 9. Clear? What is 9? 9 of CGST Act. 9 of CGST Act is levy and collection, and soon I will send these notes to you across. So pay attention to levy and collection. I think it is visible to all of you. I just want to tell you how we are going to study each section. Okay, so we start with 9, levy and collection. I will just increase it further if you want. 130 I can keep. It's very properly visible to all of you. Yes, fantastic. Pay attention. Pay attention. You know that I told you that from bare act I would like to explain you the sections, isn't it? So now our work starts. From bare act how to study the section. Okay. Listen carefully. So you will get to know how exactly we are going to study and how exactly impact it makes. Pay attention. Levy and collection. In this section 9, there are how many subsections? In this section 9, there are 5 subsections. Okay, how to understand subsection? See, this what is written in bracket is a subsection. All of you aware of this? Yes, fantastic. All of you are aware of this fact that this is a subsection. So section 9 has 5 subsections. Okay, what is the advantage of reading from the bare act directly? What I have given you here is bare act, then I have given you analysis. And some analysis I also give you in writing in notebook. Is the point clear? So if you go to market and tell them, give us the CGST Act, give us the act, bare act, not anyone's analysis, and you open it, then you will find these wordings. That bare act only you have in front of you. So now my motto is to make you understand each and every word from the bare act. Correct? Now tell me, if you start understanding the plain text of the act, then any notes you can understand, isn't it? Then you can make your own notes. Clear, na? I am not expecting you to do that, but I am telling you that so much will be your confidence level. Now listen to me carefully. We will read section 9 subsection 1 of CGST Act. All of you with me? See what they are saying. Every word will understand. Subject to. What they are saying? They are saying subject to. Subject to means keeping in view. So many times there will be reference of the word subject to. What is the meaning of subject to? Subject to means keeping in view. Subject to provisions of section 9 subsection 2 means keeping in view section 9 subsection 2. Clear? What is the section further saying? There shall. Shall means, what is the meaning of the word shall? You shall attend the class. No, Ishwari. Shall and may are opposite. Actually, shall and may are opposite. You shall join articleship and you may join articleship. There's a difference, na? So shall means what? Shall means obligation. Shall means obligation. Shall means compulsion. Absolutely. Clear? There shall be levied a tax called CGST on what? On all intrastate supplies of goods or services or both. So there shall be CGST on what? There shall be CGST on what? On intrastate supplies of goods or services or both, comma, except on supply of alcoholic liquor for human consumption. So no GST at all on what? No GST at all on alcoholic liquor for human consumption. In short, on alcoholic liquor for human consumption, you will have some other taxes. You will not have GST. Is the point clear? So, what all we are understanding from this section 9, subsection 1, we understood the meaning of subject to, we understood the meaning of shall. This I am telling you because again and again we will come across these words. Okay? On intrastate supply of goods and or services, there shall be CGST. Did you understand? And no GST on what? Alcoholic liquor for human consumption. So can I call these as non-taxable goods? So these becomes non-taxable goods under GST. Accepted? Fantastic. Fantastic. You may not write these things. Afterwards, I'll send you the Excel sheet. Then you can write it. Just ensure that you understand them. So there shall be levied a tax called CGST on all intrastate supplies of goods or services or both, except on supply of alcoholic liquor for human consumption. I would like to invite your focus on this. There is a comma here. Before except there is a comma. After consumption there is a comma. Yes, no? Yes. Now see, comma, comma, just put it in one bracket. And how your point will be now, there shall be levied a tax called CGST on intrastate supply of goods or services or both on the value determined under section 15. So this except keep it aside now. Don't read that. Okay, on the value determined under section 15. So whenever there shall be CGST on intrastate supply of goods or services or both, on which value it will be? On which value it will be? How to find out the value? Yes, friends? According to which section find out the value? Yes, according to section 15. And if you go to index, of section wise of CGST, you will find section 15 is valuation. Isn't it getting the advantage of making the index first? So now you are more confident. Yes, what we have studied is correct. So please understand, GST shall be on value as determined under section 15. Okay, again and at such rates, comma, not exceeding 20%, comma. So keep this comma, comma aside for one moment and read like this: on the value determined under section 15 and at such rates as may be notified by government on recommendation of council. Did you understand? GST rate shall be as notified by the government. Did you understand? So if anyone asks you today that you are doing GST, you are learning GST, from where do we get the rates of GST? What will be your answer? From where do you get the rates of GST? Yes, from notification. Understood? And if they ask you where this is written, then you tell them section 9 subsection 1 and tell them, wait, I will show you, and show them this sentence. Okay, but what is that 20%? Friends, then what is that 20%? Acha, maximum rate. For whom do you think that 20% is said there? That 20% is direction for whom? Yes, it is for CGST. Absolutely. That I understood. But is it the direction for the supplier or is it direction for the government? That exactly. Fantastic. That direction is for government. So in short, government may set CGST rate in the notification. Yes or no? In the notification. But the maximum rate of CGST cannot, but the maximum rate of CGST they can set is how much? They can set is 20%. Accepted? Acha, so we understand one more thing. Consequently, maximum rate of GST they can set is, can anyone tell me what will be maximum rate of GST? 40. Why 40? If half CGST, half is CGST, na? If half's maximum is 20, what will be total maximum? 40%. Okay, comma. Also, maximum rate of IGST is 40%. Did you understand? This is reading between the lines. Did you understand? Ishwar, did you understand? Ketki? Pratik? Yes, fantastic. Well done, well done. Let's go ahead. 20%, comma, as may be notified by government on recommendation of council and collected in such manner as may be prescribed. So GST collection, how is GST collection? GST collection is as prescribed. Where prescribed? Where prescribed? Prescribed in rules. GST collection is as prescribed and shall be paid by taxable person. Who will pay GST? Who will pay GST? Taxable person. Who is taxable person? Taxable person means one who is registered under GST or liable to be registered under GST. Did you understand? What I request you to do is once again go through each line and see whether you have understood it. Each line once again go through. Section 9 subsection 1, subject to provisions of section 9 subsection 2 means keeping in view provisions of section 9 subsection 2, there shall be levied a tax. Which tax? Called as CGST. On what? Intrastate supplies of goods or services or both, except on alcoholic liquor for human consumption. But this GST which will be levied on intrastate supplies of goods or services or both, that will be on the value determined under section 15 and at such rates, which rate as may be notified by government on recommendation of council, but that rate set by government should not exceed the maximum rate that government can set is 20% for CGST, and it will be collected in such manner, this GST will be collected in such manner as may be prescribed, and it shall be paid by taxable person. Did you understand? So this way we are going to do every section and subsection. So don't you think it will be easy to understand? Yes, fantastic. Fantastic. So instead of telling you directly that maximum rate of GST is 40%, okay, instead of telling you that directly, we can go through section, subsection, analyze it, and then I can give it to you like this, its interpretation. Is this methodology of studying accepted? Yes, fantastic. Last subsection we'll do for today. Thank you so much, Pratiksha. Last subsection we'll do for today, that is 9 subsection 2, and then we will stop. Levy on petroleum products. Okay, levy on petroleum products. Central tax on supply of petroleum crude, high-speed diesel, motor spirit, and natural gas and aviation turbine fuel shall be levied with effect from such date as may be notified on recommendation of council. Means there are 5 fuels which are discussed here. On those 5 fuels, do you have GST right now? On those 5 fuels, you don't have GST right now. On those 5 fuels, GST shall be levied with effect from some future date. That future date will be notified by government on recommendation of council. Mind you, Pratiksha, I won't say exempted, but I will say not taxable under GST for time being. Temporarily not taxable under GST. Is it clear? Yes. So please write down here. Means afterwards you can write. I will just complete it. 5 fuels are temporarily kept out of GST. 5 fuels are temporarily kept out of GST. Which are those 5 fuels? Okay. Mind you, other taxes are levied on them. Don't be of the impression that there are no taxes on them. Of course, you know there are other taxes on them. Other taxes are levied on them currently also. Okay. So 5 fuels are temporarily kept out of GST. Which are those? That is petrol, motor spirit. Petrol can also be called as motor spirit. High speed diesel. Okay. Aviation turbine fuel. ATF, that is the white petrol, petrol which is needed for the flights. Petroleum crude, petrol, high speed diesel, aviation turbine fuel, petroleum crude, and natural gas. These are the 5 fuels which are kept out of GST for time being. Did you all understand? And mind you, that's why word used in 9 1 was subject to. Means even if you do intrastate supply of these items, there will be no GST on them, because subject to means keeping in view. Keeping in view provisions of 9 subsection 2, there shall be levy of CGST on intrastate supply of goods or services. Getting the point? Fantastic. So tell me one thing which is permanently kept out of GST. Tell me one thing which is permanently kept out of GST. Yes, alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Fantastic. Tell me maximum rate of GST. 40%. Very good. Maximum rate of CGST. 20%. Yes, the source of GST rate. What is the source of GST rate? If I want to tell my client the rate of GST on his goods or services, then the source is notification. Absolutely correct. So, from the answers you are giving, I am sure that you are following all the things. No, there is no MCQ pattern at professional level. It is totally descriptive. Okay, but any doubt regarding whatever we discussed today in the GST? No. So, thank you very much. See you in the next session. Keep studying, and remember, there should be zest in the learning. There should be enthusiasm in the learning. Thank you so much.